My most memorable trip happened to be the first trip that I ever remember taking. I was 8 years old, and my mother decided to return to the Philippines for Christmas. When I arrived in Manila for the first time, I got off the plane and looked around, and I realized that the place was so unfamiliar, but familiar at the same time. We got into the car and we started driving home, and we approached a street corner where there were a lot of kids. And wouldn't you know, a couple of seconds later, a young girl came up to our car window, knocked on our door, and had her hand up. And I realized in that moment that here was this very same 8-year-old girl. She probably went home hungry. She probably didn't have as many toys as I did. And so I was struck that there were children out there who looked like me, who lived very different lives from myself. And so that moment actually helped define who I am today and impacted the kind of way that I see the world and how I travel in the world. My most recent trip to the Philippines was in 2009, when I brought my husband back to introduce him to my family for the first time. In addition to spending time with our family, we also decided to take a plane ride from Manila to the province of Palawan, which is in another part of the country. The province is full of natural beauty, and we decided to spend a few days there enjoying the beaches and the natural beauty that the place had to offer. One of the first impressions that you get when you get to the capital of Palawan, which is Puerto Princesa, is that it is a lot less frenzied than Manila. You look around and you actually don't see any jeepneys, which is a typical van that carries about 15 to 20 people. Instead, people go around in tricycles or on foot or in their cars. And so it gives it a more relaxed vibe than I think the capital of Manila. While we were there, we decided to stay in a resort in Sabang. And one of the things that was most memorable was in the resort, they greet you with a water buffalo that is pulling a cart behind it. And you're greeted at the beach, and a person from the hotel gets off, loads your luggage on the cart, loads you onto the cart as well, and together, the water buffalo takes you along the beach to the resort. In Sabang, I recommend visiting the underground river, which is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. At 8 kilometers long, the river flows underneath the mountain and empties out into the sea. You can get into boats at the mouth of the river and go on a guided tour up the river, into the cave, and underneath the mountain. Finally, I would recommend island hopping in Honda Bay if you'd like to have some beach time or if you're interested in snorkeling. I think the kinds of travelers who would be interested in visiting Palawan would be adventure travelers, people who are interested in seeing the beach, or just simply relaxing. Palawan has it all. The Philippines is an economic place to visit. My sense is that the most expensive part of your trip will be your airfare and your accommodations if you decide to stay in a luxury hotel. Otherwise, once you're there, the activities and the food are quite inexpensive, unless of course you decide to hire a tour operator or eat in an upscale restaurant. Otherwise, the Philippines can accommodate all different budgets. To learn more about my trip to the Philippines, visit my Wander list at WanderflyTV.com. To learn more about me, my travels, and my home in Queens, New York, visit ActionJojo.com.